Hello students, welcome you all to my YouTube channel Thermal Engineering by Manoj Shindre. In this video lecture, we are going to solve the numerical on the two-stage impulse turbine, which is a topic of module number 3, steam turbines, under the course Turbo Machine for the students who are studying 5th semester mechanical engineering under VTU University, right? VTU students. Fine. Now, this is the most expected question in examination, which is already asked in the previous year exams also. And this problem is exclusively solved by using the graphical method. So you should have the graph paper and geometry box plus calculator with you to solve the numerical. Okay. So let us read the problem carefully here. Numerical on two-stage impulse turbine. And of course, this is the lecture number 9. Let's read the problem carefully. Following data refers to a velocity compounded impulse steam turbine having two rows of moving blade and a fixed row in between them. The velocity of steam leaving the nozzle is 1200 meter per second. Nozzle angle is 20 degrees. Blade speed is 250 meter per second. Blade angle in first row of moving blade are equiangular. Blade outlet angle of fixed blade is 25 degrees. Blade outlet angle of second row of moving blade is 30 degrees. Friction factor for all rows is 0.9. Draw the velocity triangle diagram for a suitable scale and calculate the first bit power development, second bit axial thrust, third bit diagram efficiency for the steam flow rate of 5000 kgs per hour. Okay, so these kind of numericals are very important from your examination part of view, both the university exams as well as the competitive exams like UPSC, IES, SSC, JEE examinations, right? Okay, now solution given data. So before writing the given data, let us draw the flow diagram from nozzle to the last row of moving blade. It will be more convenient if you draw this diagram, the flow diagram, in order to predict what is alpha 1, what is alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, etc. Okay, the first step in solving the two-stage impulse turbine, the numericals on two-stage impulse turbine, is to draw the sequence diagram or the complete flow diagram. In the first row, we have the set of nozzle. This is a nozzle. Next, we have the moving blades here. This is a moving blade. This is a fixed blade. And lastly, we have the moving blade here, right? This is the moving blade. Is that clear? Okay. Now let us write down nozzle. Next here, moving blade. Next, fixed blade. And lastly, we have the moving blade. Okay. For nozzle, we have the angle alpha 1. For the nozzle, we have the angle alpha 1. It is represented by alpha 1. Now, for moving blades, we have beta 1 and beta 2 respectively. The inlet and outlet angles of moving blade. Similarly, for the fixed blade, we have to represent the angle by alpha. For fixed blade or nozzle, the symbolic representation is alpha, and for moving blades, the angle is represented by beta. Okay, so for fixed blade, we have alpha 2 here. Already we have taken alpha 1. So alpha 2, alpha 3 are the inlet and outlet blade angles for the fixed blade. Similarly, for moving blades, beta 2 is already written. So here beta 3 and beta 4. Beta 3 and beta 4. So this is the first step to solve the numerical on two-stage impulse turbine. To draw the flow diagram. Fine. Now, the following data refers to the velocity compounded impulse steam turbine having the two rows of moving blades. Already we have drawn the two rows and a fixed blade row in between them. Fixed blade row in between them. Okay. The velocity of steam leaving the nozzle is 1200 meter per second. Steam velocity. Steam velocity is represented by V1. Steam velocity is represented by V1. So V1 equals to 1200 meter per second. 1200 meter per second. Next, the nozzle angle is 20 degrees. So alpha 1 equals to 20 degrees. Next, blade speed is 250 meter per second. U equals to 250. This is in meter per second. 250 meter per second. Okay. The blade angle in first row of moving blade are equiangular. The first row of moving blade are equiangular. So that is beta 1 equals to beta 2. I can write it as beta 1 equals to beta 2 here. Next, the blade outlet angle of fixed blade is the blade outlet angle of fixed blade. Fixed blade is here and the outlet angle is alpha 3. So alpha 3 equals to 25 degrees. Alpha 3 equals to 25 degrees. Blade outlet angle of second row of moving blade is 30 degrees. Blade outlet angle of second row of moving blade is 30 degrees. That is beta 4 equals to beta 4 equals to 30 degrees. Next, friction factor for all the rows of blades for all the rows is 0.9. So how to write the friction factor? Listen here carefully. For moving blades, fixed blades and moving blades. For moving blades we have VR2 by VR1. It is equals to for fixed blades V3 by V2. For again moving blades, VR4 by VR3. So this is the blade coefficient or the friction factor for all the rows, which is equals to 0.9. Okay, draw the velocity diagram for the suitable speed and calculate the power developed. What is to be calculated here? To find first bit the power developed P, second bit the axial thrust Fa is represented by Fa, and the third bit is diagram efficiency, the meter D diagram efficiency. I can say the blade efficiency for the steam flow rate of 5000 kg per hour. So the mass flow rate of steam is m dot is equals to 5000 kg per hour, or if we divide it by 3600, we can get the mass flow rate in terms of kgs per seconds. So if we divide it by 60, you will get it as, sorry, if we divide it by 3600 to get the mass flow rate in terms of kgs per second is 1.39. This is in kg per seconds. 1.39, that is in kg per seconds. Okay, so this is the overall picture of the numerical. Next step of solution is we have to draw a rough sketch for combined velocity diagram. Okay, we have to draw a rough sketch. Okay, so listen here carefully. How to draw the rough sketch for a combined velocity triangle. So this is the reference figure. This is not the actual figure one. Okay, so this will use it as a base or the reference for drawing the actual diagram on the graph paper. Okay, so first we'll take, just draw this smaller diagram here. So this is u. This is the velocity v1 here. This is the velocity v1, the absolute velocity of steam, and this will be vr1, the relative velocity component at the inlet. This is vf1, the flow velocity component. The angle for v1 is alpha 1. The angle for vr1 is beta 1. Okay. This is u, and vu1 is a horizontal component. The corresponding outlet velocity triangle is this VR2. This is V2, and vertical component is VF2. The flow velocity component VF2. This is alpha 2, and this is beta 2 here. And this will be VU2, the horizontal velocity component. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now name all the points A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, this is for first stage, and the second stage is, this is the common place U. V3 is the velocity, absolute velocity of steam which is entering the second row of moving blades. This is VR3, the relative velocity component at inlet. This is VF3, the flow velocity component, alpha 3, and this will be beta 3 here. This will be beta 3. The corresponding outlet velocity triangle is this. This will be VR4, this is V4, and this will be VF4, the flow velocity component VF4, alpha 4, and this will be beta 4 here. This is a common base U, and this will be VU1, and this is VU2. Okay. The corresponding points are F. This is G, H, I, J, K, and L. So the algebraic sum of VU1 and VU2 is delta VU1. This is delta VU1, and the algebraic sum of VU3 and VU4 is delta VU2. This is delta VU2. Okay. Okay. Now in the two-stage impulse turbine, we have the two types of numericals, type 1 and type 2. Listen here carefully. If the blade velocity is given, if the blade velocity u is given, then it indicates we have to start the numerical from stage 1. Start the sketching from stage 1 and complete it at stage 2. If the velocity u is not given, if the value of u is not given, then in that condition, we have to start the numerical from stage 2 and we have to end up with stage 1. Is that clear? This is the very first condition to differentiate which one is type 1 and which one is type 2. So in this numerical, he has given the value of u, so we have to start the numerical, to start sketching the graph from stage 1. Is that clear? Okay. So the first step is to set the scale. Scale, let us take it as, so u equals to 250 meter per second. Let me take the scale 1 centimeter equals to 1 centimeter equals to, and take a 100 meter per second. 100 meter per second. You can take it as 100 per meter per second. Okay. If you take the 50, then the value of V1 in terms of centimeter will be around the, it will cross the margin. It will cross the margin. So you have to adjust the scale such that the line should not cross the graph margin. So these diagrams, this solution, you can do it on the graph paper which is given in the answer booklet of your external examination. Okay. So U is equals to 250 meter per second, or it can be written as 2.5 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters, or V1 equals to, if I divide by V1 equals to 1200 meter per second, or in terms of centimeters, it is 12 centimeters, okay, or 12 centimeters. Rather than equal to sign, let me write or. Okay, 12 centimeters. Fine. Now let us start sketching the graph. How to use a graph here. So this is your graph paper, just hold in the horizontal position or landscape mode. Okay. So just divide this complete graph into two halves at the center, because we are going to solve this problem by starting with the stage number 1. So start at the middle. You can draw the U line, that is a 2.5 centimeter line at the center. Okay. So this portion is for stage 1 and this will be for stage 2. For stage 2, just leave 1 centimeter from the bottom and you can draw the value of the line here. Okay. So this will be more clear if you solve it systematically. Just listen here carefully. Divide the complete graph sheet, which is in the landscape mode, into two modes or two halves. Okay. So from the center, start sketching for stage 1, first stage. Okay. So this is the common base U here. Let's start from here. This is U. U equals to 2.5 centimeters, or it is a CD. It is CD. Okay. Now from D, at alpha 1 angle, V1 is emerging. So V1 is 1200 meter per second, or 12 centimeters, at an angle of alpha 1 equals to 20 degrees. So keep the protractor on point D Keep the protractor on point D and measure the angle in clockwise direction. So 20 degrees angle and length is 12 centimeters. That is point A. So here it is V1 equals to 12 centimeters and alpha 1. Okay. Join AC. This is VR1, the relative velocity component at the inlet. From A point, just drop a vertical line up to B here, up to B, and this is of course the VF1, the flow velocity component, and join BC here. Join BC. So this is beta 1 here. This is beta 1. Okay. Now listen here carefully. From graph, just measure what is beta 1. Just keep the protractor on point C and measure the angle beta 1, which is in clockwise direction. And we know that beta 1 is equal to beta 2. Since it is the equiangular, we have seen that beta 1 equals to beta 2. In the question itself, he has given the moving blade angles are equiangular. So that's why we have to take beta 1 equals to beta 2. So therefore, from graph, beta 1 is equals to 24 degrees, which is again equal to beta 2. Okay. Next, what is the length of VR1 here? So in terms of centimeter, the expected length for VR1 is the expected length for VR1 is, okay, the expected length for VR1 is 9.7 centimeters. 9.7 centimeters, or if you multiply with the scale ratio, that is 100, the answer will be 970 meter per second. Okay, so already you know the ratio VR2 by VR1 equals to 0.9. VR2 by VR1, that is given in the question, VR2 by VR1 equals to 0.9. So VR2 equals to 0.9 times VR1. Okay, or just multiply this 9.7 into VR1. So 9.7 into VR1. So it is 873 meter per second. Okay. So if you multiply 0.9 into 970, you'll get 873 meter per second. Or you can say it as 8.73 centimeters. Both are same, 8.73 centimeters. Now we got beta 2 as well as VR2. We got beta 2 as well as VR2. So from point C at an angle beta 2, VR2 is emerging. Okay? At an angle beta 2, VR2 is emerging. So keep the protractor on point C and measure the angle in counterclockwise direction. So that is 24 degrees. Take beta 2 equals to 24 degrees and VR2 equals to 8.73. This is VR2 8.73. We got F here. Join FD. This is V2. Now from F, drop a vertical line up to E here. Join DE. So this is VF2. Angle alpha 2. And this is the angle beta 2 here. This is the angle beta 2. Hope this step is clear. Now the total gap between V to E is delta V1. Delta VU1. Okay? The perpendicular or the total gap between the two parallel lines VF1 and VF2 is delta VU1. Okay. I hope this is clear. Now V2 can be measured from the graph. So from graph, the expected value for V2 is V2 equals to 6.5 centimeter, 6.5 centimeters, or 650 meter per second, or 650 meter per second. So in the data, he has given V3 by V2 equals to 0.9. V3 by V2 equals to 0.9, or V3 equals to 0.9 times V2. Just multiply 0.9 into 650. 0.9 into 650, that is 585 meter per second. 585 meter per second, or 5.85 centimeters. 5.85 centimeters. Okay. So this is all about the stage 1. Now, in order to draw the stage 2, just take the locus from point C and point B respectively. Just draw a horizontal line here. This is IJ. This is I and J here. Okay. Now, do we know the value of alpha 3? Yes. We know the alpha 3 as well as V3, because from J at an angle alpha 3, V3 is emerging. From J at an angle alpha 3, V3 is emerging. We know the length of V3, that is 5.85 centimeters. And also we know the angle alpha 3. Alpha 3 equals to 25 degrees. So keep the protractor on point J. Keep the protractor on point J. Yes, here. So keep the protractor on point J and measure the angle in clockwise direction. Okay. So you'll get the point G here. This is the angle alpha 3, which is 25 degrees, and the dimension or the magnitude of V3 in terms of centimeter is 5.85 centimeter. This is V3 here. I hope this is clear. G and join GI. This is VR3. VR3. From point G, just drop a vertical line up till H here. This is H, and this will be VF3. The axial velocity component VF3. Join HI, and this will be beta 3 here, and you can measure beta 3 by keeping the protractor on point I. Okay. Now this is all about the stage 2, the inlet velocity triangle for stage 2. Now from this graph, easily can measure V3. So from graph, VR3 equals to, from graph VR3 equals to, the expected value for VR3 is 3.7 centimeter, 3.7 centimeter, or it is 370 meter per second. So you know the ratio VR4 by VR3 equals to 0.9. Just calculate the value of VR4 here, equals to 0.9 times VR3. Just multiply 0.9 into 370. 0.9 into 370, that is 333 meter per second. 333 meter per second, or 3.33 centimeters, or 3.33 centimeters. Okay, students, you got the magnitude of VR4, that is 3.33. So from I, from the point I, VR4 is emerging at an angle beta 4. Yeah, beta 4 is also known, that is 30 degrees. So keep the protractor on point I and measure the angle in counterclockwise direction. So you will get the point L here. You will get the point L. So this is VR4 at an angle beta 4, and join LJ. This is V4. This is V4, and from L drop a vertical line. So this is VF4. This is VF4, and join JK. Join JK. So this is of course U here, and the total parallel distance between the two parallel lines, the distance between two parallel lines VF1 and VF2, or H to K, is delta VU2. H to K is delta VU2, and this is delta VU1. This is delta VU1 here. Okay, delta VU1 and delta VU2. The delta VU1 is 16.8 centimeters. 16.8, it is in centimeters, or if you multiply with the scale ratio 100, you will get 1680 meter per second. Similarly, the total distance between H to K is delta VU2, which is 5.5 centimeters. 5.5 centimeters, or multiply with 100, you will get 550 meter per seconds. VO2, delta VO2 equals to 550 meter per seconds. So this is all about the second step or second stage, velocity triangle for second stage. Similarly, you can measure the values of VF1 and VF2 as well. So VF1 from graph, VF1 equals to 4.05, okay, 4.05 centimeters, or 405 meter per seconds. Similarly, VF2 equals to 3.5 centimeter, 3.5 centimeter, or 350 meter per seconds. This is for stage 1, and for stage 2 we have VF3 and VF4. VF3 equals to VF3 and VF4. VF3 equals to 2.5 centimeter, 2.5 centimeters, or 250 meter per second. Similarly, VF4 is 1.7 centimeter, or 170 meter per second. 170 meter per second. So these are some values which we have obtained from the graph. Now let us proceed for the calculation of various unknowns, that is power, efficiency, axial thrust, etc. Okay, so let me rub this. Now let us calculate here all the unknowns. In the first bit, we need to get the value of power P. So P can be written as, the expression for P is m dot by Gc into U into delta Vu1 plus delta Vu2 plus delta Vu2. Okay, so this is a formula to calculate the power P. Okay, substitute all the values. P equals to m dot in terms of kgs per second, 1.39, into U is, what is the value of U? It is 250 meter per second, 250, divided by Gc is 1. Delta Vu1 is 1680, delta Vu2 is 5. 1680 plus 550. So divide by 1000 to get the power in terms of kilowatts. Power P, upon solving this, the expected value for power P is, 775 kilowatts. 775, it is in kilowatts. So this is the answer for first bit. Now in the second bit, we need to get the value of axial thrust Fa. Fa is given by m dot by Gc into delta Vf1 plus delta Vf2. Delta Vf1 plus delta Vf2. What is delta Vf1? Delta Vf1 is the difference between Vf1 and Vf2, and delta Vf2 is the difference between Vf3 and Vf2. Okay, the difference will give you delta Vf1, and this difference will give you delta Vf2, right? Fa equals to m dot is, okay, let me write one more step. M dot by Gc into Vf1 is, delta Vf1 is Vf1 minus Vf2 plus delta Vf2 is Vf3 minus Vf4, right? So Fa equals to m dot is 1.39 by Gc is 1, Vf1 is 405 minus Vf2 is 350 plus Vf3 is 250 minus Vf4 is 170. Upon simplification, you will get the value of Fa as 187.65 Newton. 187.65. This is in newtons. The value for Fa, the axial thrust. The value for Fa or the axial thrust. The last bit of problem is to calculate the value of diagram efficiency. To calculate the value of diagram efficiency, that is third bit. Diagram efficiency eta D is given by the formula 2u delta VU1 plus delta VU2 divided by V1 square, and of course we can multiply with 100 to get the efficiency in terms of percentage. Okay, so delta VU1 plus delta VU2 into 100. So eta D equals to 2u delta VU1 plus delta VU2 divided by V1 square. This is the formula for getting the value of efficiency. So eta D equals to, substitute all the values. 2 into u is 250. Delta VU1 is 1680 plus delta VU2 is 550. So divided by V1 square, V1 is 1200 square into 100. The expected value for eta D, the efficiency is given by 77.4%. 77.4% is the value for diagram efficiency. So this completes the numerical. So if you find anywhere a difficulty, you can put your comments in the comment box, or you can send your messages on WhatsApp. Okay, so my WhatsApp number is 9886539 This is my WhatsApp number. So if you have any queries, any doubts regarding these numericals, you can put your comments in the comment box, or you can send your queries on this WhatsApp number. So kindly don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel. Okay. In the next class, we will solve the second type of numerical where you will not be given. You will not be given, and under that circumstances, under those circumstances, we have to start the numerical from second stage, and we have to end up with the first stage. Okay, so those are also very important, and after that we'll go with the condition for maximum blade efficiency of the Parsons reaction turbine, or 50% reaction turbine of Parsons turbine. Okay, so that will complete the module number 3 in all respects, and after that we will start the hydraulic turbines, where we are going to study the 3 types of turbines like Pelton wheel plus numericals, Francis turbine plus numericals, Kaplan turbine plus numericals, and finally we have one more topic, that is draft tube, where we are going to study, where we are going to apply the Bernoulli's equation for draft tube, and we'll get the final equations, and plus numericals on draft tube. Okay, so that will complete the hydraulic turbines, and soon I'm going to upload those videos on YouTube. So kindly like, share, and subscribe the channel. Share among your friends, those who are studying the mechanical engineering 5th semester turbo machines course. Okay, I wish you all the best for your examination. Thank you and have a nice day.